Good morning. Today's New York Times is led with a huge font and the news that Leo the 14th of Chicago is going to be America's first pope. I wish I could pretend to be that interested in this. I'm not. But on your behalf, I did read the story. This guy goes by Bob. He was born in Chicago. He also spent 2 decades in Peru and is a naturalized Peruvian citizen. So, he did support the White Sox. He did go to a Chicago high school, but he's also got kind of international credentials, which is why he was picked. Good for him. Twitter's been funny in response. Lots of memes. I suppose there's a couple of things that stand out to me. One, he's more homophobic than the last pope, and he said a couple of really sad things about gender ideology. So he's talked about homosexual lifestyles, like the ones practiced by a lot of priests, and he also said something about like not teaching about genders that, quote, don't exist. So he's kind of like a little bit right wing on that stuff. And then also he did protect a kiddie fiddler cardinal in Chicago. I think this guy ended up in a monastery and they didn't tell people. But they're Catholics, and I'm an Episcopalian, so I'm not exactly one to judge. You get an organized religion, you're going to end up filling with kids. In many ways, you wonder if it's the whole reason they started the church, but of course that's not. It was to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ and decide who to kill. I like religion. I like religion for a variety of reasons. I suppose most amusingly, it's the clothes. I quite like the idea of having a kind of text that everyone can read and use to connect with God, however they perceive it. I think Jesus was a pretty interesting dude. Whether or not you believe he was born of a virgin and sent down from God, which of course you have to say you do if you read the Nicene Creed and get confirmed. Still a sort of visionary person. A lot of people say he was a bipolar maniac, but they're always pretty interesting people too. I admire his stance against depression in the area where he grew up, and I like reading the Bible. So Christianity, broadly speaking, is all right with me. I do find it makes me nervous when people use it to beat each other up, kill each other, judge each other, etc., etc. But that's part of the territory with anything, isn't it? I mean, you talk about yoga, people do it with yoga. So no good idea is without its idiots, and Catholic Church has done a lot of nasty in the world. Possibly more nasty than nice, I would say. On the other hand, it gives hope to millions. And on a planet like this, where we're hurtling around the sun and gradually warming up, and there's a lot of death and evil and so on, I think it's very important that the majority of us focus on our mortal souls and what we want to do with our lives. Nothing wrong with a bit of philosophy, nothing wrong with a bit of deep introspection, nothing wrong with the concept of hell, if you ask me. Although nothing wrong with the concept of divorce either, in my experience. So, I don't know. There's the Pope. He's American. Bob from Chicago. Best of luck to you. He said something nasty about J.D. Vance. That's very good. About a month ago, I think, or maybe last year, J.D. Vance said that, the Catholic Church says you should prioritize your family over others. And this guy tweeted that J.D. Vance was wrong. So J.D. Vance could suck it. I think is the moral of the story. And, in long existential terms, in the reign of popes, Donald Trump will be but a memory of dust by the time this guy's done, I hope. And that's ideal. So thanks for letting me read the newspaper so that you don't have to. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll be back Monday. Don't do the videos on the weekend because I like to do other things. But I will send out my email newsletter, which you can subscribe to at Matt Davis reads the newspaper.beehive with 2 I's and no E at the end.com. Appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of my egotistical fantasy of television show. This. Appreciate you. Read the newspaper.